Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
This is Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are La Lita Loca, and it's Tuesday Night Live.
It is.
Jenny B.
It is.
Jenny B, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I hear you all the time. But now I get to see you.
Yes,
and
you
hear
do. You get bump, 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 bump.
Welcome to the show, everybody. We're trying a little bit of a different format tonight. We're trying to see if we can use the technology to have a conversation. Now, this is local. I'm at the studio and Jenny B's at the house. So this is really more of a POC, a proof of concept, because we're getting ready to embark on a series of days where we will be not with each other for like 23 or 24 days. That's part of the big announcement. We'll tell you about that later. But we do want to answer your cruise questions. So we'll do the big announcement maybe like 9:15, 9:20. Let everybody get in here. The only homework that you have is to hit the like button. I sure would like to get to, I don't know, maybe 300 or 400 likes by 9:15. And if you have any cruise questions, please type the word question in front of it so that we can see it. Jenny B, how's the week been? What are you up to?
The week has been, what am I up to? 5'8". No, we've just been getting ready for the big announcement.
The big announcement. Well, we do have some super... Excuse me. You might have to come save me. We do have some super chats. Mary Cottrell, thank you so much for the super sticker. Bren Creekmore, thank you so much for the super sticker. Talk foodie to me with the super chat. Tony, I'm on the Valiant Lady right now. It's a weird vibe. I'm on board trying to get content for my channel, but it doesn't feel right. Would you still record content, not about the accident? Yeah, I would still record content about the accident. You can still tell the story of the cruise ship, and maybe at some point you have a separate video where you talk about the weird vibe on the cruise ship. I can imagine it's got to be weird. I mean, the fact that a lot of times on these cruise lines they won't come right out and make a full announcement about an accident like that, maybe because they don't want to impact the cruise vibe. But I saw, of course, on Jay the Ship Life's video, who Jay the Ship Life is on the ship also. He recorded the video what the captain said, and so that would be unsettling. I could get that if you hear the captain talk about this passenger losing their life at the beginning of the cruise. But I would, still get your B-roll and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you're still there trying to do your thing, and obviously you don't have to make it about the incident, but you can still, again, don't do anything you don't feel comfortable doing. But I don't think you should dissuade yourself from trying to capture some content while you're on the cruise ship. That's the thing everybody's trying to. I'm assuming that's why they gave everybody a 100% future cruise credit, because they know that people may even struggle to enjoy their vacation. So it's hard. Like Jenny B, we've had that sometimes. Like I don't think there's any hard and fast rules, but we know people that have gotten bad news while they're on cruise ships, and we also know people that bad news has been held from until they got home from the cruise ship. What's your preference? Would you, if something, this conversation just kicks off in my head as we're talking about it. If something bad happened on land, would you rather know about it while you're on the ship, or would you rather wait until you got off the ship?
Um, I'm a worrywart, so I probably would want to know beforehand, so then as soon as I get off the cruise ship, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I know that a couple of years ago when we were on a ship, we did get some startling medical news from about our son-in-law, and yeah, it's just been. I think I would want to know on the cruise, because
yeah.
then I could also make that, decision. Do I just get off at the next port and fly home?
Exactly. No, it's a tough situation. Christopher Herring, man, what's going on, buddy? Haven't talked to you in a bit. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys wait until 9:15. I kind of forgot we switched the times up here. Yes, 6:15.
How about you? What do you want to do?
Gosh, I think I would want to know. I mean, we're so connected to being at home, anyways. I don't think people could keep it from us. So I would want to know just to
Right.
see. Yeah. Talk Foodie to me said that I'm with a casino group right now, so it's free. So are they gonna give you another free cruise? I wonder how that's working with the future cruise credit. Thank you so much for the super chat, Mr. A Smith 9884. Thank you so much for the super chat. Any advice on the NCL Alaska cruise? I don't know which ship that you're on, but we had a good time on NCL last year on the Encore. Make sure you scope out the observation lounge and see if that's somewhere where you'd like to see some of the sights, especially when you're doing like a Glacier Bay tour, something like that. That's really probably one of the nicest indoor spots on the cruise ship to see Alaska. But yeah, I think you're gonna be fine. It's
That's also
the
where they do that's where the naturalist comes.
yeah, they
Is the
have the
observation
conversation.
lounge.
That's probably the other key thing. Figure out which TV channel on the day that the naturalists are on board. Figure out which TV channel where they're going to, where their conversation will come through the TV channel. Because you could also, we spent a good amount of time in our cabin listening to the
Hmm.
naturalists through the TV, which was nice. Which very nice, very nice.
Tessamon, how are you?
Okay, yeah. So
She's getting excited.
cruise twos with what happened on the cruise for those that don't know. I guess I just assumed everybody would have watched my show today. What the heck? Maybe that's a little too presumptuous on my part. No, it's not just my show. It's everybody. Unfortunately, it's like the worst news possible. On the Valiant Lady, a lady. The circumstances are unclear, but a lady was on the 14th deck, and somehow she fell off of her balcony. Again, the speculation's there whether she was pushed or whether she was jumped, or it's really hard to fall off your balcony. And then she fell down to deck 7. TMZ reported that she fell onto someone else, but she sustained significant enough injuries that she passed away. And this happened on the very first night of the cruise on the Valiant Lady that started on Sunday. They were making their way to Roatan, Honduras. They had to turn the ship around. They went back, and there was investigators there from Miami-Dade, all kinds of. Go check out Jay from the Ship Life, and it really gives kind of a lot of detail because his videos got like the announcements from the captain, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's horrible. It's tragic.
Very tragic.
Matt Squirrel Cop, any updates on the avocado toast fiasco? I did post a redemptive avocado toast video on one of the shows. So you got to watch every day, I guess, because there was an update on that. The second round of avocado toast I got from Dunkin' Donuts turned out good, turned out well.
Well, and I did send in an email with pictures, and I never heard back from Dunkin' Donuts.
Really?
Really?
Dunkin' is no respondo, huh?
Dunkin' is no respondo.
Well, Duncan, how about that? Question from Beverly Judica. Have you ever convinced someone who was very against cruising to try a cruise? If so, did they end up enjoying their week? Just curious. Do you think Chris and Heidi were against it? None of us knew what it was like when we went. Have we ever convinced somebody who didn't want to cruise to go on a cruise yet?
Maybe my brother Steve.
That's true. It took a lot of convincing, and he loves it. He enjoyed it, right? Yeah. So cruising's one of those things that what's wild is on a lot of the podcasts lately, almost everybody I talked to was a reluctant cruiser. They were forced to go, and everybody that I've talked to now, makes cruising content. So it's either going to hook you or not hook you. Maybe you got to, bribe them or something like that. Like if you go, I'll go to one of your dumb things that you don't want to go to or something like that. So I don't know what that is.
I think that's kind of what it was, right?
Yeah. Talk Foodie to me said she fell onto someone's foot. Wow, how yeah. Thank you for the super chat. That's horrible. Horrible.
So Janelle has a good point. She's not understanding why people are watching and not hitting the like button.
Oh, how many likes do we have? We've got 311 likes, 769 people. I think we could get to 500 likes by 6:15. I believe in you guys. I believe in it. Avocado toast. A lot of people said they'd never had it. Some people are adverse to it. Once I got over being adverse to avocado, which took me into my 40s before I really liked guacamole, but it's a nice combination. If you smash up avocado and you spread it on some fairly decently toasted bread, you want your toast to be crispy, and you put some everything bagel seasoning on it, maybe a dash of salt. It's delicious. It's delicious.
It is delicious.
Question from Colby: does NCL promotions tend to get better the closer you get to the cruise date, or is it better to take those up sooner, like the drink deals? I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Jenny B?
They're always this. So the free at sea always is the same, right? Their offers are the same with the drinks and the specialty dining. I would just get them up front so you can start paying on it. If that was the question.
That's a good answer. Oh, Linda O'Brien with a nice compliment. Hello, two beautiful people. Hopefully she's talking to us and not some strangers on the street. On the street.
Well, hello, Linda. If you're talking to us, thank you.
Yeah, this chat goes fast, so if you don't see your question answered, when I'm looking over here at the chat, maybe pop it in there with the word question in front of it. Those are the ones I'm kind of looking at. Let's see.
And that's why I'm looking down, because I have it on my phone.
Yeah, I'm over here. Kenneth Tzinski says, so what are your two favorite cruise lines to cruise on? Jenny, what's our favorite cruise line to cruise on?
Royal Caribbean. And for me, Princess.
I was going to say the next one. That's the standard answer.
Oh, well, the standard answer.
Royal Caribbean and Princess. I think I would agree with those. I answered that question today. I went and bought some shoes, and I met a young gentleman who cruises with his parents, and his parents watched the show, and we had a nice conversation. So shout out to the young man at Skechers. But that's what he asked me, what my favorite. I think I was forced to cruise only one cruise line, it would probably be Royal, primarily for the entertainment.
So in about 4 minutes, I'll answer that, and you can answer that.
Yeah, what the next one is. Tina Gorski, thank you so much for the super chat. And Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, Tony and Jenny. It's cruise day for you tomorrow. Cruise day.
Yay!
It's cruise day.
Yay! That's exciting.
B Stance, did you do a video about the new studio? I thought I watch every day, but I don't remember. No, not really. I'm not done with it yet. So really, I'm only just done with this part. I have a whole nother room. I got furniture to build there. I still need to build a table for the podcast, like over here. So it's really not ready. It's not worth seeing yet. So it's still a WIP. It's a WIP, a work in progress.
So D. Willingster has a good question. Can you give a short summary of what you like about each cruise line you've cruised on? I'll go first. So Carnival's fun, exciting, lots of people watching, always kind of just always something happening. Royal, a little bit of the same, just less people watching. They have great entertainment, great casinos. Celebrity is just a jazz feeling. Princess is lovely, has great technology. NCL freestyle is, I love the freestyle. Just do what you want.
Oh,
any other ones that we've been on?
I was too busy playing with the computer to remember what you were saying. Oh wait, let me get you back on the other side of me.
Just a real quick summary of your what you like on each cruise line.
You said Carnival, right?
Yeah.
So Carnival to me are the fun ships. I think that that is accurate. I think still like the best included food. There's an interesting debate out there. Should you be eating hamburgers and pizza on a cruise? I remember early on when we started making videos, there was one guy that was so like upset with me because I would talk about the pizza, and he thought that I was just blowing my whole cruise experience because I was eating trash food instead of like filet mignon, that kind of thing. So Carnival, when I think of Carnival, I think high energy, I think a fun crowd, and I think the best included food. Royal Caribbean, the word that comes to mind for me is entertainment. So I really think Royal has the best entertainment, and I really like their ship designs. Most of them have that multi-deck Royal Promenade, which I enjoy quite a bit. Celebrity, I always think about dudes playing golf and drinking cocktails. That's where I'm at on Celebrity. It's a little jazzy to me.
Sipping those martinis.
Yeah, if it feels like folks that, and I think it's fine, but it feels like people that are professionals, still maybe like in the corporate world. I feel like it's a great cruise line for that. A great drinking culture, a lot of good music, that kind of thing, and it feels like people that are still working. Princess, on the other hand, has that same aspect, but the people that are playing golf on Princess are retirees. I feel like these are people that have retired. There's young people on there. I'm not trying to say that it's about old people, but it does feel like, in my opinion, it feels like a retired group of folks as opposed to a still working kind of folks. There's going to be exceptions to all these rules, but you're just asking me what's coming to mind when I'm thinking of these cruise lines. NCL feels like rock and roll a little bit to me. I feel like the music is good and it's loud, and it feels like the whole thing is like almost a rock and roll bar. Like everywhere that you go, it's got, food, like bar food and rock and roll music and that kind of thing. And then Margaritaville at Sea is an interesting option for just something to get away. It's an older cruise ship. MSC is, I think of an international crowd.
MSC.
Yeah, MSC to me, I think like if I want to cruise with people from Europe and people that live in the U.S. but are from Europe, MSC, I think of that. Who else?
Holland.
Who else have we? Holland. Holland is interesting because I only cruised Holland with people from Australia, essentially, and it was good. It was an interesting mix of rock and roll music and classical music, and I need more time on Holland, honestly, to form a better summary. Disney, Disney was Disney, so it was like the Disney theme park except on a cruise ship. So that's a great question. That's a great question.
It was a great question.
Let's see. Question: Milford Sound overnight cruise entertainment. I don't know what that means. But I'm down to the bottom. Talk foodie to me. I was on the Caribbean Princess for 10 days. Got off Saturday. The average age was 80 years old. Wow, I haven't felt that on Princess before. Chuck Spencer, thank you for the super chat. 5 days away from our short boys cruise. We're coming to town, Tony and Jenny. How about that? The boys are back in town. Darren Martell, thank you so much for the super chat. Jenny B, thanks for all that you have done for us with booking from HEELL Hockey Sticks. Hockey Sticks. Adam Pittman, thank you for the super chat.
I wouldn't have wanted to go through it with anybody else but them, so thank you for being patient, Darren.
Adam Pittman, hello. Any tips for Carnival Horizon first time? I mean, I like the Horizon quite a bit. I don't know what a big tip would be.
Learn the elevators before you go.
There you go. Before you go. So let's explain it to him. How does the elevators work?
So the elevators, those are the ones that you go to the elevator bank, and you're going to go to deck 10, and there's two of you. You're going to hit deck 10 times 2, not just once, but twice. And then that elevator is going to come. It's going to bring you to just deck 10, unless somebody else is on there that is maybe going to 8 or, something like that. But yeah, just don't jump on the elevators because you're not going to get off at your designated deck.
That could be the most confusing thing, but once you get it, it's a very satisfying thing. So,
and it works. Yeah, it really works very well.
Cindy F, thank you for the super chat. Question from Bill Smith: Any Alaska cruises this year? Yes, we're going on the Carnival Spirit or the Pride. What are we on?
I think the Spirit.
Yeah, so we're going from Seattle on a Carnival cruise ship to Alaska to be with our friends Sharon at Sea and their whole crew. Some of those crew is in the house tonight. Looking forward to cruising with all of you guys. Mark LeBlanc, would you do a booze cruise? There's been booze on every cruise that I've been on, so yes. I didn't mention Virgin Voyages. Virgin Voyages was great. If you ever want good food and no kids and a lively atmosphere, Virgin was good.
So do you think that Virgin and, because we were just on NCL Prima, do you think that they're giving Carnival the run for their money with the all-inclusive food?
Virgin? I don't know if it counts the same way. So, they have the buffet concept, the galley, which is very similar to what the Prima had with Indulge, except it's not as technologically forward. And then they don't have a main dining room or really, that buffet other than the galley. And so it's not a one-for-one with the included food with Carnival because Carnival is more like, burgers and chicken sandwiches and stuff like that. The included food with Virgin is like specialty dining restaurants. So
Right.
It's definitely an elevated thing. It costs a little more, but you don't pay for the internet and you don't have any tipping on Virgin Voyages, which is interesting. But it's a step up. I feel like they compete at the celebrity princess, suite class of NCL more so than directly with Carnival. Plus, there's no thing. All right, so it's 9:17, 577 likes.
Six.
It's 6:15. I don't know what day it is. It's 6:15 and 577 likes, 1,000 people watching. I think we could get to 800 likes in the next 15, 20 minutes. The big announcement is this. Last week...
Wait, let me ask you.
Yeah.
What is your favorite cruise line?
My favorite cruise line is my next cruise line, and my next cruise line is on Holland America Line.
How is that if mine is Carnival?
I spoke last week with Doug Parker from Cruise Radio, and we weren't recording when he started telling me about his next adventure. And Doug, so today, here's the deal. Holland America is celebrating their 150th year anniversary of their cruise ship, the MS Rotterdam. So that's a ship name that they've used over and over, and their newest cruise ship is the MS Rotterdam. The Rotterdam left Fort Lauderdale today, and it is going to New York City, and then in New York City, it's going to do a transatlantic cruise, and eventually it will end up in Rotterdam in the Netherlands for a big ceremony celebrating its 150th anniversary. And so Doug was telling me all of that, and I straight up got the FOMO. I was like, dude, what? Because we've been trying to find something to do between now and the beginning of some other month, June, and nothing really worked out. And he said, well, I said, are you getting on in Fort Lauderdale? And he's like, no, there's an option where you can go to New York City, where you can go to New York City and get on the cruise ship and then go on the Rotterdam. And so a mere 3 hours after I talked to Doug, I booked, the lovely Jenny B booked my very first transatlantic crossing. Yes. And so I will be flying to New York tomorrow evening, and then that's Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I have a check-in time on the Rotterdam at 2 p.m. to get on the Rotterdam. And what's wild, the itinerary is wild. So we board the Rotterdam on the 6th in New York City, which is Thursday. Then the ship still is in New York City on the 7th, which is Friday, and you can book excursions. You can book excursions to go around New York City, go to the 9/11 Memorial, all that kind of stuff. And I can do that. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't know if I'm going to get back off the ship after getting on the ship. But there's people that came from Fort Lauderdale that may want to go around New York City. Then it's going to be 8 days at sea, which I've never done that many days. I mean, no land at all. 8 days at sea. I know people have done transatlantics. It's not that big a deal. But for me, it's a big deal because I've never done that. And then we stop one stop in Dover, England, one stop in Plymouth, one stop in Dover, and then we finally end in Rotterdam. And then I'm staying on the ship for another 10 days to do more stuff, which it includes Amsterdam and Copenhagen and But that's where I'll be for the next 23 days. So that's why we're practicing with this form of live stream so that we can still live stream over the next 3 weeks. That's the big announcement. Dun 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 dun. I don't know how crowded that ship's going to be. I know that Doug's going to be there. It's going to be nice to hang out with Doug. And that's all I know. I got excursions booked in all the places that I can excurt. And I've got my drinks and my internet purchased. And so I'm basically ready to go. Basically. So there you go. So, Jenny B, I will certainly miss you, but I think it's a good opportunity to go and expand the cruising knowledge. Are you going to miss me? The truth is, and hopefully none of our family or kids are listening to this, Jenny made this big elaborate plan where we're going to have 40 people at our house for Easter. I can't handle 40 people.
All the kids and all the family is watching.
We had our kids over like last weekend, and they're like, "Yeah, we're coming for Easter." And I started to add, and I was like, "Wow, there's gonna be like 30 people." And Jane's like, "30 people." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I think I have to go out of the country." That was the first thing I asked her when I got home from talking to Doug. I'm like, am I a horrible person for skipping Easter to go on a transatlantic cruise? And she's like, yeah, you're pretty horrible. No, she didn't say that, but my family understands. I have an irrational fear of dying because my dad passed away at 52. And so I'm in this weird headspace where I'm trying to do just as much as I can in case I just happen to die this year. So hopefully that doesn't become an interesting sound clip when I die this year. But it's weird. That's the way psychology works. When you lose somebody and you've experienced grief at a young age, I'm excited. I'll be excited to get out of my 52nd year because that was the year that my old man passed away. So, yeah, a lot of things went into this decision, but I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Well, we sure are going to miss you.
Oh, you guys will have fun without me. Like, when I said I was going to be gone, you guys were already, woohoo.
I was secretly, isn't there a girls' cruise coming up in April?
Should do it. Tina Gorski, thank you so much for the super chat question. It's Cruise Day in 2 days on the Radiance of the Seas. 2 months ago on First Oasis ship, the Allure will be totally disappointed with the entertainment. Will be totally disappointed with the entertainment on our cruise in 2 days. I don't know. Like Royal does a pretty good job. I don't know if they have an ice skating rink on Radiance. Some of those smaller ships do, but I think the stage shows will be great. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah.
Here's a great question that Jenny and I actually talked about this week. Any plans to try out Explorer Journeys, the new luxury brand from MSC?
Absolutely. We've been talking about it, actually. We were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great. We would love to try it. Kitty Ray is in the house. Can't wait till Halloween. Thank you for the super chat, Kitty. Can't wait to see you again. I just want to let you know I've given up gambling, Kitty, so we won't be able to be in the casino together.
April Fools.
April Fools.
Silly.
Let's see.
Your sister is in the house, and she said that you are a horrible person leaving your family and your kids for Easter.
She would do it too.
I'm just kidding. She said she hopes you have a wonderful time and she loves you.
Thank you. Oh, Doug Bray is here. Doug, thank you for the wonderful pictures of your Lego. We're still trying to track down the Titanic over here. Gilly Cruiser, thank you so much for the super chat. She's super chatty. Let's see. Well, there's a lot of people, and my love goes out to all the people saying that they had that same irrational fear once their parents died early that they would die also. So we're all in the same boat. It's much like the poop conversation from the other day. There is some commonality between all of us. So hopefully we're all going to outlive the whole thing, and it's all going to be good. So yeah, it's weird. My old man passed in 94. So I don't know how many years ago that is. 6 to 2000, and then we're coming up on 30 years. It's so bizarre, man. So bizarre.
29 years.
Kathy Ellis, what about my doctoral studies? I done quit school. I thought I talked about that already. School was interfering with work, and that was something that I wasn't going to go for. And I knew that going in, and I had the conversation with the people that were encouraging me to go to school that if I had to start choosing between doing this and doing that I would be choosing the doing this, and I would be thinking of it in the idea of that it wasn't time to do that. And so I was fully behind by the time I came out of Australia. And then when I went on the Vloggers cruise, I got caught up. It took like 3 weeks to get caught up. And then once I went to the Vloggers cruise, I missed another big chunk of work. And I was like, yeah, I was making decisions between doing my studies and making the next day's video. And that was not where I wanted to be. So no school for me. We'll just ride this horse until it does it.
Thank you, G Hill. They said that they love your live shows, Tony. And then somebody did ask if you have a balcony on the transatlantic. He does, but because we booked it so late, they are both guaranteed. So we still don't know where you are.
I got my cabin number. I was looking. I tried to look on the internet, and it does look like I may have some obstruction with some lifeboats, but we'll have to see.
Okay.
Redneck Lover, thanks for the super chat. Jenny, if Tony is running off, you should join me at Chippendales in Vegas on May the 4th on Star Wars Day. I'll be back by May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you. He'll be back, Bob.
Let's see. Best time of year for the transatlantic cruise is when they're doing them. No, you could Cunard. The Queen Mary goes back and forth all throughout the year. It's real formal, but you can go from New York to Southampton. That's frequent, but normally everything else is a reposition. So now you have a lot of ships that are leaving Florida, the U.S., some going through the Panama Canal to get to the West Coast, to get up to Alaska. You have ships doing that. That's usually an April migration. And then the coming back, what is it usually? Is that the November or October, Jenny? I can't remember.
There's a few. There's October and November. Yeah. Like early November.
That's right. Let's see. Question from Jody Harkave. Thank you for the super chat. Would Virgin be enjoyable for a couple who doesn't party? Yeah, I mean the food is great. Like you don't like when I went there by myself, I didn't get in the middle of a lot of stuff. I just went and had my meals, and I went to the shows, and I went to the casino, and then I would sit in the common spaces. And during the day they had like a beautiful board game area. They've got a free arcade on board. And so I think any partying that's going on, you kind of have to get into the middle of it. You'd have to choose. But there's plenty of places where the party isn't on that. So again, the biggest appeal to me was the no kids vibe. It changed the whole vibe of the ship, and you put the really good food on top of it. I think it's pretty reasonable. Mm-hmm. Brian Day says, "Do I ever get seasick?" Both of us are very fortunate. We haven't yet. So, yeah. And I was I survived a Class 1 typhoon in the China Sea, where the brand new cruise ship, where it sounded like the rivets were going to come out because the metal was creaking so hard. So, yeah.
Tina, my necklace. This one is from Lane Bryant. How's that Pellegrino? Is it cold?
Yes, professionally chilled.
Oh boy, we had actually. You know what? Can you ask me
Tell us about the week
again? About the week,
Jenny. What happened when we went to get water out of our refrigerator door a couple days ago?
Oh my goodness! The refrigerator went out in our rental house, and nothing worked. Like the light was on in the refrigerator; it wasn't cooling. So of course, I just called the property management company, and it was about 2 days without a refrigerator. It was,
so we're fortunate now that our daughter Danielle lives close, so they cleaned out our refrigerator, and we have a small refrigerator that we normally keep drinks in that has a freezer, so we were able to take a lot of the frozen stuff and put it in the small refrigerator. But it really was wild, because you would open the refrigerator, the light would be on, but the front had a door panel that has an LED on it, and nothing would work on the LED. So they called the repairman, and he said, well, I can get a board for, I think he said like $400 or $500, and it could be the board. And that's what it was. So he put a new board in, and then everything started working. But yeah, that was interesting for a couple days.
Super quick he was.
Let's see, Expediter Guy, what is the best line for an Asian cruise? I went on Royal Caribbean. I know they have a big presence there, and they normally put a nice ship over there. Of course, there's going to be local lines in Asia, which I'm not familiar with any of those. But, I think Royal's getting ready to send their ships back over there. John Russell, I'm flying Delta to New York. I got the first class seat nonstop from Tampa. Pretty expensive, $344 for the single flight. That's only 2 hours long. So I'm paying the fat man charge, and I'm having to pay up on airlines now. So it's a little bit of a sucks, honestly. And then coming back from Amsterdam, I got Comfort Plus, because the cost of the Delta One and stuff was exorbitant. So I'm trying to lose some weight. I got like 29 days to try to drop 20 pounds. I think that'll make my flight home a little more comfortable. But yeah, I didn't have enough time to drop a bunch of weight for this flight to New York. So nonstop Delta, $344. Question: are we still taking a pause on group cruises in 2024 with 20? We don't have anything booked. We don't have any group cruises scheduled after October of this year, and we're not really sure what we're doing with it yet. So, yeah, we don't have anything in mind yet. I think I don't know. I'd be surprised if we announced anything this year. So. Peb Metz, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you prefer Port Miami or Port Canaveral when going out of Florida? Canaveral is really growing. I still prefer Port Canaveral just because it's only 2 hours from the house, and there's a lot of good parking rides over there, a lot of good parking lots that we're familiar with, and easy to take Ubers and shuttles over to the port, and also the parking at the port's easier, I think, there in Canaveral than Miami, and then just driving around. So, yeah, Canaveral would be my
because in Miami.
choice.
When we park at the port, what do we have to? We have to cross like 6 lanes of traffic, don't we?
Yeah, it was a pain.
Yeah.
Let's
Not
see.
fun.
Kathy Ellis, we're doing the exact same flights to Sydney tomorrow. How awful was that trip? I mean, it wasn't awful, but again, I paid an arm and a leg to make it not awful. I had the Delta One, and I was able to even in being able in the big seat, that big like kind of pod, and being able to lay down, it was still really long. And so yeah, you just got to get your mind right on that. So Thomas Andy Taylor, congratulations on your weight loss. Very nice. Which lines offer bingo? I think most of them. I can't think of a line that doesn't offer bingo. Rental company. Do we rent from what we rent? Do you know the name of the people? I don't know the name of the people.
For renting a what?
I think for renting a house, but I think we just found it in the paper. So yeah. Question: have you ever heard of receiving a free cruise for gambling after just one cruise? Yeah. Yeah, especially if you played some slots and stuff and got noticed, or however the computer does it, it wouldn't be surprising.
Well, and it's interesting too. Like Danielle, well, Aldordo, and a few of the other people that have helped out on Carnival, they spend very minimal in the casino and get very good offers.
Yeah. Question from Boxstang40: are balcony rooms worth it? Do you use the balcony enough? I mean, there's multiple reasons. For me, yes, right? Usually the room is bigger. I like the access to be able to just go out and like hang a camera off and do some filming. I don't like sit out there a ton, but I do love the access to the sea and to that kind of thing. I almost feel like I could achieve the same thing, not the filming part, but with an ocean view, I think. I don't know. But I definitely like a balcony. It's worth it to me. I don't know that would be true for everybody. I mean, it goes back to the old question, would you rather do 2 interiors or 1 balcony, But if you're only going to do one, I would go for the balcony. What do you like better, Jen? You like an interior, a balcony,
hey,
ocean
Dawn,
view?
Hope you and Shane are doing good. I like the balcony.
Yeah.
I like that I can go out and get the fresh air if I need it.
Yeah. Dawn did ask, have we ever thought of doing a back-to-back?
Right. So we had on the books a side to side. Of course, we want to do a back to back, but we were on the Island Princess for 14 days, so that was kind of like a back to back, and it was great.
It was nice. It was nice. Oren Goldstein, compare RC main dining room and pizza to Carnival, please. I like RC, and this is why I like it better. I like Royal Caribbean better because they have tablecloths. For some reason, that makes a difference to me. I think the main dining room experience on Royal is nicer. I think the pizza on Carnival, it's 50-50. Like, to me, there's not a pizza I'd really kick out of bed. And so I think it's a hard comparison. When Sorrento's, I feel like they changed the formula both on Carnival and Royal. Sorrento's used to almost be like Tostinos, the ones that you get in the frozen, like you get a little crisp bottom to it, and it would be good. And then to me, Carnival's always been floppy, but they've had interesting toppings on it. But main dining room, I would choose Royal. The pizza would be a coin flip. Do you have a preference between Carnival and Royal pizza, Genevieve?
I think Royal's pizza is a little bit better.
What do you like main dining room wise between those two?
Definitely Royal as well because of the tablecloths.
Yeah. Let's see. Hero Bear, have we ever cruised during September? I have a cruise with Royal. I'm worried about the weather. Yeah, so, of course, the adjacent months is when hurricane season is, June, July, August, September, October, November. A lot of times September, October, bad for hurricanes. And what I do know is that the cruise lines work really hard to keep you out of harm's way, and they'll change itineraries and they'll reposition the cruise ship, and they'll even tell you not to come to the cruise. So that aspect is in place. I think you should always have travel insurance, so I think that aspect is good. But I've never been concerned cruising during hurricane season.
No, and you also we cruised Alaska September.
Yeah.
So that's always an alternative as well.
Yeah. Jacqueline is here. What's up, Jacqueline? Good to see you in Vic and House.
What's going on, you two?
Question: what is the longest cruise you've ever done, and would be the longest you would do? So the 14 days is the longest that we've done so far. Was it 15 days on the Island Princess? 14?
It may have been 15 now that I'm thinking about it. I think it was 15.
I don't think I'm at the place where I want to cruise year round. I think a world cruise would be on the bucket list, like a 6-month cruise, but I'd have to I wouldn't want to do that every year. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, that kind of thing. But
just maybe do segments of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Lindy Lou, that is true. Pizza on Princess and Alfredo's is number one.
Alfredo's is good. Have we ever cruised on the Carnival Panorama? Thoughts on it? What do you think?
Yeah. It was a good ship. It was. Did they have the elevators on that one too, babe?
I think so. I think all of those. Maybe. I don't remember. But
the Vista
it would make sense if they did, yeah. Because it came after the Horizon. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that ship though. The first time when we went on the Vista, I was kind of bummed out that they didn't have a atrium with elevators, going up to the top decks. But the setup's now grown on me. I actually like the flow of that ship, kind of flowing into the casino from that atrium area. My brother's in the house. What's up, Retro Sarge?
Great ship.
What is a good insurance policy for traveling multiple times a year? Should I do per trip or yearly policy? Not really a question we can answer. I can tell you what we decided to do for us. We decided to get an annual policy because we travel so often, and then we use Allianz, which was highly recommended, but we really haven't put it to the test. So, that's all I really can say about that. But just look out there, compare prices, make sure you're getting what you want, ask around. Anybody have any insurance recommendations? Have you had to use it? Leave a comment below. Celebration have smart elevators? I don't think they did, right? It was just regular elevators.
They were just regular elevators.
Yeah. They don't even have elevators on the Celebration. You have to walk every flight.
Could you imagine?
There's only one deck, though. It's like a super long cruise ship. Super long.
There's 3 decks, right? Isn't that 3?
Stuff. Yeah, I think 3. Who wins in the Princess versus MSC pizza battle?
Oh boy, that's a hard one. If Princess has the Alfredos, they win it, but MSC, the pizza's pretty legit.
Yeah. Serious question. How do you think the influx of all the new ships over the next several years and different lines will affect the prices of cruising, up or down? I think the basics there is if you have more cruising inventory than you have cruising demand, the price will go down. If you fill up all the spots on the ship and people are still wanting to book, then the prices will go up. You also have to balance out the fact that as they bring new cruise ships on, they will also move cruise ships out of their fleets. And so it'd be cool to track it. Like, I don't know anybody who's tracking it. I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to track, but it'd be cool to track the increase and decrease of berths as ships come and go. But it's still going to be the basic economics. If they've got extra inventory, they'll probably discount inventory to get people on it. And if they have no inventory and people are banging into the website trying to book cruises that are full, they will jack up the prices. That's what I think.
You're thinking good.
Thank you. Thank you. What are smart elevators? So these are elevators where you tell it what floor that you want to go to, and it will tell you what elevator to get in. So imagine you walk up to an elevator bank with 6 elevators, A, B, C, D, E, F, and you say, I want to go to deck 8. It'll be like, go get on elevator F when it shows up. And then you'll get on there, and it will take you to deck 8. And if you get on there trying to go to deck 7 or 6, it will not take you there. So it's you got to use the system. Red or white with surf and turf. We usually go brown with surf and turf in the form of Diet Cola. Bottle of red, bottle of white. It all depends upon your appetite.
Well, and I'm excited because some of the cruise lines are carrying the Coke Zero.
The CZ.
That's right.
The Coke Zero. Zara. Is that French? Zero. I'm a zero.
Remember, like, that's like, why don't you drop the zero and get with the hero?
I just got sad. This is how I'm going to see you for the next... Jenny. This is how I'll have to see you for the next 20-something days.
Exactly.
Make sure that we can do Easter together, like with all 30 people. Will get me on the old... Of course, we got the time change, so I don't know. Shout out to the Blue Crew taking care of business tonight. Taking care of business. Joseph asks, smaller ship or one of the bigger ships for newbies have Liberty scheduled for September 18th. First, girlfriend's first and my second. Liberty's a great kind of smallish to middle-sized ship. It depends. Like, if you're going to be with people that are seasick, I would go the bigger the ship, the better. If you're going to be people that feel like they might get bored with cruising, I would go bigger ships that have more stuff to do on it. But yeah, I think.
Well,
Liberty's
I'm going to assume it's Carnival Liberty and not Liberty of the Seas.
Liberty of the Seas.
Yeah. So, and they're Liberty of the Carnival Liberty is nice size.
Yeah, I like Liberty. Question from Ann: is Pepsi on Carnival or is it back to Coke? No, it's still Pepsi. Pepsi products. Jenny is at the home base. I'm at the studio. We're practicing. So basically, what I heard is that the internet is pretty good on the Rotterdam, and I wanted to see if we could do a live stream like this so that we can still do that.
In the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
That's right. 8 days on the ocean. It's going to be wild. Dale Smith tried the lobster roll at the lobster place. I can't even remember what it's called. DJ's Clam Shack. And said it was good. The Clam Shack.
Oh, good.
Question. Hi, Tony and Jenny, have you ever cruised on Oceania Riviera? We are due to sail in June. We've never been on Oceania. Like, we haven't moved up yet to, I would say, that next tier with Oceania and Seven Seas, that kind of stuff. I think Oceania would be the most... I think that would be the one that we've maybe talked about doing, along with the MSC new luxury brand. So, Ken, you may have to tell us how it is. We don't have any experience. Anybody have any Oceania experience? What do you think? I haven't been to Maine, so I haven't had a Maine or lobster roll yet.
We were just watching one show that they were up in Maine, but they put the lobster. Remember, they put the lobster like salad on a biscuit.
That's right. Yeah, on a buttermilk biscuit. That was weird. Tony, do you ever do a YouTube tutorial course to help smaller creators improve their channel and content? I haven't. In the beginning, I used to talk to a lot of creators, and then They all turned on me. No, I'm just kidding. Some of that's true. But yeah, I'm pretty open with how to do YouTube. I know I've done a couple live streams about it. My secret really is just do it a lot and then find one thing that you don't like in what you did or one thing you feel like you could improve and then do that better and just do it a lot. And then I would definitely recommend, some of the YouTube, like if you need help with editing, go to YouTube and look for editing. If you need help with, how to do YouTube, Think Media. There's so many great people out there. Film Booth. I've cut all my teeth on those channels. That's how I've learned most of the stuff. And then I have a small circle of people that I talk to about YouTube, but nothing. I don't have a course out there or anything like that. But I answer questions when I can.
Ooh, Mr. Author has Starlink in his truck.
There you go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've been on a couple of ships with Starlink, and it's been pretty quick. So I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, that's what's on the Rotterdam. Rotterdam. Brian Longoria, thank you so much for the super chat. First fun cruise in my life, December 2022, Florida to California via the Panama Canal, NCL Joy. Used Team Jenny after watching you for months. Thank you. Can't catch many live shows, but glad I could today. Best and love wishes for your face. For your face.
Aww, for your face. Thank you, Brian, for utilizing
Brian.
Team Jenny.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said this in a show, but what is that guy that's part of Adam Sandler's crew? I think his name's Rob Riggle or something like that. But there's some movie, it might be Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore, but that's kind of where For Your Face comes from because something happens and he goes, in the face! And that's where For Your Face comes from. There's a lot of people that took For Your Face to mean something weird, but it's nothing weird.
Hey,
Adam
Michael,
Pittman,
hope you're doing good.
Adam Pittman says, infinite balconies on Celebrity, are they good pick or do you like traditional balconies better? A lot of people that I talk to don't like them as much as they like. They don't like them as much as traditional balconies, but I do. I feel like it gives me more inside. Yeah, it gives me more inside room in my cabin, and then when I want to roll the window down, I can do that. And yeah, but again, I think it's a neat innovation. It's also going to be on the Icon of the Seas, so and I think it might be a little cheaper than a regular balcony, so it's a nice option. I don't think the Mardi Gras or the Celebrity has the smart elevators, Ronald.
They don't.
Uber Cruisers just got up out of bed. Hope you're doing well, Ian. Hope your arm is healing up, and we're glad to have you here.
Ian.
He's the dude in Sydney. Ian. Will I be doing the Norway fjords on your stop from Copenhagen? I don't think so. I don't know what that next itinerary is. I think it's like Copenhagen, Amsterdam twice. Let me pull it up. Let's see. Add cruise.
Real quick, George in Atlanta, thank you for your super chat. And he is late to the show, but Tony's about to do a recap of the cruise announcement. So
I will do a recap of the cruise announcement. Let me hold, please. Hold, please. 10 night. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be flying to New York City, and then the next day I will be boarding the MS Rotterdam for its 13-day transatlantic crossing, celebrating the 150th anniversary of something, a Holland America line or of the Rotterdam. I don't know, but there's going to be ceremonies, and it leaves New York, so I'm in New York on Thursday on the ship, I'm in New York on Friday on the ship, and then we go 8 days at sea. We go to Plymouth in the UK. We go to Dover in the UK. We end up in Rotterdam. And then I'm staying on. So then on the 19th, I will be in Rotterdam. I'm at sea on the 20th. I'll be in Oslo, Norway on the 21st. I don't know if this includes any fjords. Copenhagen, Denmark after that. I don't have anything booked in those places yet. Amsterdam on the 6th day of that cruise at sea. Edinburgh, Scotland, Loch Ness. All the excursions for Loch Ness are sold out, which makes me mad because I was going to go find the Loch Ness Monster. That's going to be one of the stops. Sea Day, and then it all ends in Amsterdam on the 29th, and then I'm flying home on the 30th. So it should be fun. Should be fun. Justin Wynn, the only reason I cruise Royal Caribbean is for the Buffalo Trace. Whiskey culture is a big deal. We've been following that in a lot of different formats. George in Atlanta, that's the recap. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. We sailed in Alaska, Capital Berry. Tony and Jenny, you sailed in Alaska in September. I booked 2 weeks of Royal in September. What was the weather like? Your best excursion? So whale watching was the best excursion. We went 2 weeks. We went back to back, side to side, not on the same ship. We went on an NCL ship and then a Princess ship. 1 week the weather was sunny like Florida to the point I got sunburnt, and then the next week it was horrible with a bunch of wind and rain and fog. And so it was like being in Nashville. You didn't know what it was going to be like from one day to the next. So yeah.
Exactly. And you went in September with Dawn from Dawn's family vacation. How was the weather then? Do you remember? I think it was rainy from what I remember.
Yeah, it was pretty rainy. It was rainy, yeah. What is the best craps? What is the best craps line in your opinion? Justin, the only reason that so NCL's got some plus and minuses on its casino, but it does allow you to do 3, 4, and 5 times odds on their craps table, and that's better than most of the other cruise lines because you only get to do single or double odds. But they charge you a fee to use your money, which is a little bit annoying. And unless you're playing in the high roller area of blackjack, everything's an automatic shuffler. So I'm pretty sure Holland America shuffles out of the shoe, which I'm looking forward to that. Jenny B, which cruise line has the best slots?
None of them. No. I think Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Princess is a hot second.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to go to the Loch and to Loch Ness. There's a couple of other excursions that take you kind of close, but there's a big castle there too. I'm trying to find a castle. Most of these castles say, what do you guys think this means on the website? If it says no photography, do you think that includes video, or do you think it would say no photo and video? I'm assuming because it says no photography, it means video also, but it doesn't say video also. But yeah, so I'm hesitant to go to one of these castles and not be able to share it, but there's some interesting stuff out there. Is Jenny going with me? One, I miss her. She is not going with me, and I will miss her. So yes, both of those things are true. But absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah, I don't know that Jenny's gonna miss me, so she didn't protest too much. Larry Thomas, what's going on, buddy? Hello, Tony and Jenny. Glad to see you're going to do a transatlantic to Europe. We do a TA 413 plus a lot of Europe. Let's keep cruising. Yeah, Larry, I'm just trying to follow in your footsteps. So thank you for the super chat.
Larry and Elaine. Love you guys.
Edinburgh is the castle to visit. Okay, Walter, I'll have to do that. I can't remember what I chose. Well, I can't remember what I chose in Dover and Plymouth. But I'm going to go see some old windmills in Holland, in the Netherlands. So I'm going to have to vlog some of this if you guys want me to. Yeah. But it's going to. I can't wait to see some of these things. Yeah, exactly.
And tulips. If you see the tulips.
Yeah. What was your best favorite purchase in port, and where was it? It might have been the Starbucks mug I got for Jenny in Tokyo because it was right in the heart of Temple. And it was an amazing place. I don't know. We don't get a lot of souvenirs, magnets, and coffee mugs mainly. Does this mean Jenny will be doing the lives this month? I don't know. At least we should be able to do some of the lives this way. So that's the hope. Question from what is our Patreon? Are there benefits? Yeah. So for $5 a month, you get extra live streams. So after we finish this stream in 3 minutes, we're going to go talk to a smaller group of people, which is usually about 30 or 40 people. So you really can get everything answered. But it only costs $5 a month. And I think we did 3 or 4 extra live streams last month. And then another thing, I was able to put out the podcast a day early. So I spoke to Emma of Emma Cruises. That's the next podcast. I already have it recorded. Once I get that edited and uploaded, the Patreons will get it first. There's a $10 level where you can get a postcard, and then there's also a $20 level where you can get a Zoom call, and that'll only be about 10 people. So patreon.com/LaDlitaLoca if you want to join us for extra content. But of course, we continue to do these shows for nothing but the views, baby, and the likes. Gotta hit the likes. That's the big.
Gotta
Oh,
hit the likes.
we're so close. We almost had 1,000 likes, but we only have 3 minutes left. Will it happen? Will it
Well, we're
happen?
also on our way to hashtag 18 million.
We are on our way to 18 million. Schmeckonomics. Thank you so much for the super chat. Just a big thanks and sending healing thoughts to Don. Yeah, Don's in pretty good spirits. I talked to him. Hopefully he'll get a good report back on this last thing. Deb Bird, I won't be able to see Emma on this adventure, but I am going back to do a UK British Isles tour in June, and I hope to get to see Emma then.
Pam said hi from Australia. Love your channel. Watch you daily. Will you bring Jenny B down under? Guess
Yes.
what?
It's already booked.
Absolutely.
Already booked, guys. We're going to Australia next year. Let's see. What do we get if we DoorDash you some coffee and avocado toast from Dunkin'? Well, you get put on the list of why does this person know where we live, because that's freaking me out. There's a list of those people already. Don't get on that list, Eric.
Please don't.
Yeah.
But thank you for the thought.
Boom, 1,000 likes. There you go, Steven Z. Look, you guys did it. You guys rocked the Casbah.
Steven
We're only a
Z,
few
what's going on?
Yeah, that 18 million. It's pretty much a stretch goal, but I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Well, that's the big announcement. The next time, well, I might do one show here from here tomorrow. It depends. My suitcase is packed, but my tech stuff isn't packed yet. I got to catch a flight tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, that's it. We'll be on the road. Thanks, everybody, so much for stopping by. My name's Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are La Lido Loca. And until the next time,
We'll see you on the Lido.
we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.
Bye.